So here's an entertaining one, once again proving that they always come back. They always come back after kicking a good guy to the curb and things don't work out and they figure he's a chump and will take them back, which clearly is not in this case. And as a bonus, this guy's getting the wrath of Reddit. The wrath of Reddit because he will also won't take his daughter back because the things she said and did in the divorce process to make his life obviously a nightmare. And when you get the wrath of Reddit, you know you're doing something right. Titled, Am I the a-hole for not letting my daughter back into my life? And a shout out to Tomas for sending this story. He says, so about a year pre-virus, I got divorced. So we're talking 2019. We had one daughter, who's 12 at the time, and who my wife turned against me in the divorce. She was seeing a dentist and thought she hit the jackpot and wanted to be done with me. She got my kid to say that I did a lot of bad things. I can't say what he did. And he says, I never did that, never have been that way. Luckily, I got the ex to admit on my phone by video, so I put all that to bed in court, but not before it cost me $20,000. That was all said and done about a year before the virus, and I signed over my rights, no child support or alimony, and I kept my house in retirement and about $275,000 total. So this is terrible. He's married, family, kid, and all that. And the wife starts cheating on him with a dentist and she thinks she hit the jackpot with her dentist. And then kicks him to the curb and to make it worse, gets the daughter to say all these things about him. Now the wife is evil for doing that, but guess what? The daughter's 12 years old. And by 12 years old, absolutely knows better. The whole comment section is making this guy out to be he's the big villain, even though, let's be honest, he's the victim here, because he's done with her. I'd be too. I'm not a father. I don't know what it's like to be a parent, but believe me, I know myself. And at 12 years old, you don't do that. Imagine if he didn't have that video footage and got her to admit that. He'd be in prison. And what happens to guys that are accused or found guilty of doing, these types of things? It doesn't end well for them in prison. Understand the gravity of that situation, gentlemen. Anyhow, it says here, afterwards, in New York and Texas, they were paying big money for experienced nurses like me. So he's a male nurse. He's Greg Fokker. I had nothing hold me back in my home or anything like that, so I left and had my agent sell my house and everything in it. I started working 6 12-hour shifts a week and kept it all until last fall. Not only that, I took everything out and I threw it into Dogecoin when it first popped up on Robinhood. So this is obviously a while ago. He was gambling it on those cryptos back then. I then sold it at 50 cents, tried to cash the bounce. When it started going up, again, I lost a lot. And then I bought UFC stock when that came out and sold it to recoup some of the losses. And after that, I decided not to be one of those that went broke after winning the lottery. So I cashed out and went to a big investor to handle my money from there. After taxes, I had a little over $3 million at the start, plus all the cash I'd saved working my butt off. So he was gambling his money through his Robinhood app back then when the cryptos were going crazy because interest rates were slashed to nothing during 2020, 2021, everything. Made a lot of money, cashed out. Yeah, probably a good idea. You're not going to hit the jackpot like that more than once unless you're really lucky and really good. So now he's got money. Good for him. He earned it. I came back and bought a nice house on a lake with 20 acres and took a few trips. And I posted pictures on Facebook and Instagram of all my trips, including a humble brag post of my retirement, part-time work to keep insurance, etc. Smack. In other words, he's starting to show off. He's showing off his wealth. Now, I got no problem. I'm glad this guy really turned it around, is doing well. He deserves it after what he's been through. Because remember, he lost his wife. She was cheating on him, then divorced him. That had to hurt. And then his daughter, the wife, according to him, manipulated her into saying all these things, but the kid ought to know frickin' better. That's heartbreaking. So he deserves some happiness. But don't go bragging about your wealth, guys. He says, well, I guess they found out and shut up my door. I never let them in and captured all of my Ring camera in case they went nuts. Of course, they want back in my life, but I flatly said no and called 911 on them without even opening the door. Good. If you opened that door, they could have said all sorts of things. Do you know why they're back? Things didn't work out, Mr. Dentist, and they're trying to manipulate him back into his life. Some friends have said that I'm being cruel to my kid, but I can never trust her again. I am for sure not letting my ex back in any fashion. So am I wrong? At best, I'm playing with fire, even talking to either of them again. Is there a way to entertain the idea safely? Now, in a moment, he's going to have an extra text here, extra comment here. But here's the reality. Things didn't work out with the dentist, so now they're back. And the wife and the daughter assume he's such a chump that he'll take them back. He could have been, her accusations and what she got the daughter to do could have put him in prison. Thank God he recorded that. Let that sink in to anybody give me a hard time for him saying F you to the daughter. Yeah, 12 years old. She should have freaking known better. Period. I don't care what anybody thinks. And anyhow, and he's saying no. Of course he's saying no, because guess what? The only reason they're back is because they want a piece of his wealth, which he shouldn't have flaunted on Facebook. That was stupid. And guess what? This time has passed. Now the daughter's probably like 17 or 18 or whatever. Nope, it's over. End of story. Let him deal with it. And of course, not trusting the ex-wife. And the ex-wife is probably trying to use the daughter to, again, manipulate him. Nope, no way, no how. So that's what I think. And why would you? How could he possibly trust them after all that? And the whole comment section is just losing their minds. And he's the biggest villain in the world, and she was too young. These are people that aren't quite grasping what could have happened to him, right? These people have no idea. But then again, you got a lot of clueless bleeding hearts on Reddit, and I'm not a bleeding heart. A lot of people say, SSM, you're not a parent. You don't get it. I know myself. And if I had my child say these things that were total lies, regardless of saying somebody talked them into it, nope. I would be, in my mind, for this guy, when that happened, his daughter died. It's over. He's building a new life. Now, he also says, in response to the situation, he responds saying, never so much as a text. They just showed up after I had money. Her mom just wanted to leave with as much as she could, and this was her way. That video is the only reason I walk with my stuff. She probably thought they had a rich life ahead of them. I don't know if they're still together, but I haven't checked. I don't care. I just know that if I let her back in my life, and she makes a similar claim without me having a video this time, it can go very differently. Yeah, they could just simply say, they could try to sweet talk back into his life, and then say, you know what, you're going to basically give us money, otherwise we're going to say that you did this, this, and this. Really, it's good he didn't even answer the door. Can't trust him. Now some comments here from some sane people. One guy says, not the a-hole. You need to protect yourself. Your ex and your daughter trashed your good name and brought you to court on criminal charges once. You don't need that again. I'm a bit sorry for your daughter. She was probably manipulated by her mother, but the fact is that she's dangerous for you to know. She is dangerous. And you know what? Yeah, I'm sure she was manipulated by the mother. We can piece that together. But 12 years old, she should have fucking known better, because nowadays these young kids are all so knowing and experienced. So, hey, you make your bed and you lie in it. Tough crap. Another one, this guy says this, and arrange it so she will get nothing. Maybe $5,000 so that no one can fight the will. Leave your money to the people who support you, to some organization. The will, leave money. The guy isn't that old. Says, I know you're not thinking on leaving this world soon, but if you have a nurse, you know how this shit happens. Do not award them with the benefits of your suffering. Remember, when your ex-daughter gets will also be for your ex-wife. You're going to hear lots of people here telling stupid stories about your ex-daughter being a child and being manipulated by her mother. That might be a little excuse, but not catching you or having anything to do with you for all these years tells you everything you need to know about her. Exactly. Now that you have the money, they want you back. Don't take any of these women back. Don't let unhinged and inexperienced people here on Reddit convince you otherwise. If it was not for the daughter, but a son, you would not have been able to be told by so many people to take him back. Maybe when she's an adult, out of college, and paying for her own life, then you can think about giving her a chance. Don't let them mooch you. Well, exactly, but I wouldn't give her another chance. But then again, I'm a heartless SOB, and I got no problem with that. And one more, this guy says here, not the a-hole. Do not let either of them back into your life. The accusations will be worse the second time around. I had a friend whose daughter wanted to live with her father after she punched her mother in the face. She sent her to the father. Not a month later, the daughter filed for domestic issues and restraining order against her, with all kinds of lies. She had to fly to the state for the court date. The daughter sat there and made faces and rolled her eyes the whole time. The case was dropped. There you go. It's sad, it's unfortunate, but this guy has to move on. I would look at it like, you know what? I don't have a daughter. She's done, regardless of that age of 12 years old. Should have freaking known better. I was 12 years old once. I actually remember what it's like to be 12 years old, and no way would I ever say that against a parent. Ever. Ever, ever, ever. And yeah, maybe she's a dumbass. Obviously, she's 12. Emotions are high when you're a teen. Regardless, this is her father. She had known better. So, there you go, guys. They always come back, and he has the last laugh.